Damn, I'm sitting there reading stuff on Twitter. Forgot. Lost track of time. It's 8:30 already. Hey, we got Sixers. Game 6 against the Celtics. Can they close it out tonight? We're going to talk that Phillies 3-game winning streak. I talked about a 14-game stretch, and that would give me a judgment on this team. Well, that 14 games is over. Eagles, NFL schedule release. We've got a couple of leaks already coming out. We're going to talk about all that. If you want to talk Flyers too, Jonesy in charge. We've got it all trending in the AM, where your thoughts and opinions matter the most. Starts in 30 seconds. And a very good morning, everybody, and welcome to Trending in the AM right here on Philadelphia Sports Network. We are live. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. You know the drill. Like, share, retweet, follow on all social media platforms. Make sure you do me that favor and hit that like button. Hit it 100 times over if you can. Smash it, break it, do whatever. Tell a friend, tell everybody. Let everybody know this is the most interactive morning show in Philadelphia talking sports, the only place where your opinions matter most. How about them fighting Phils? Do we want to start with the Phils? Holy moly, the first comment jumping in right there on the Phils right there. We got lots to talk about. A lot's on the agenda today. We got Phillies, 3-game winning streak. That key 14-game stretch is over. And I want to talk about Sixers, Celtics, game 6. Can the Sixers finally get to the Eastern Conference Finals? I mean, it's here. It's like right on the cusp of things here. And then Eagles, we've got 3 games I've got listed so far that I know. 2 for sure. Well, actually, only 1 for sure. 2 most likelies. Afternoon over in the UK. I love the UK people that tune in because, you're not as tired as us. You might already be cracking a beer while I'm cracking my coffee in here right now. So I appreciate everybody tuning in right there. The Sixers have to win tonight. That is a big, big key to me tonight. And with the Sixers game is that the Sixers, this game 6, you do not want it to go to a game 7. You do not want it going back to Boston at all costs. You just do not want to have that. I'm talking about the Fightins. And we got to like dive deep into the Sixers and the Phillies. I mean, it's crazy because both are jumping right out on these comments here. Happy Sixers closeout day. All right, let's start with the Sixers here for a few minutes. Then we'll dive into the Phillies and then maybe some more news on the schedule leak. Obviously, we got the Christmas Day Eagles game. Maybe it looks like week 7 San Francisco, maybe Vikings week 2 Thursday night football. We'll get into it all here today. So Sixers, game 6 against the Boston Celtics are tonight. And I don't know if you guys realize it. I know some of you do in the comments, and I know those who have been watching all week know how important it is for the Sixers to wrap this game up here tonight at home in front of the raucous Wells Fargo crowd down in South Philly. The chances of winning 3 games in Boston, which would be the case if they lost tonight, the Sixers, and had to go back to Boston for game 7, is not good. The home team in a best-of-7 series, if it goes 7, I am sure does not lose 3 games at home very often. Time to let the league know who we are. The NBA so clearly wants the Celtics to get through. The NBA, the media, most of the fans outside of Philadelphia, very few people are on Philly's side. But you know what? That worked for the Eagles back in 2017, that underdog mentality, that nobody likes us and we don't care mentality from the Eagles. Look, and the Phillies, I love it. We had Bedlam at the ballpark. Now let's have some Bedlam down in South Philly tonight at the Wells Fargo Center. I brought it up yesterday, and I don't know if anybody else knows. It just kind of felt like the crowd energy was just a smidge below expectations for a Philadelphia Sixers playoff game. And maybe part of that was because that this Sixers team has been there before, done it before, and come up short before. And the fans are scared to get too heavily invested which makes them maybe not just cheer for 48 minutes like on their edge of their seat like normal. Need to get the Batman masks down at the Wells Fargo Center. Absolutely. You know what? You know what's crazy? You look at the Eagles. You have the Batman. You have the underdog mask. You have the Phillies with the Bedlam at the Bark. You've got every big Philly team has something that is the it's not the storyline. It's the narrative. It's the player narrative or the player whatever the players are using to motivate themselves. This Sixers team doesn't have any of that. There's not that one key phrase that's been said this year in a positive way. There's not one cool nickname because let's be honest, I've said it before. I think the process is over. This is not about this is validating the process if they win tonight, but the process ended when James Harden got here. So there's not that one key thing, that one key rallying cry of this team. I mean, I've tried to talk about it, the legacies of this team on the line. Wells Fargo Center is going to be nuclear tonight, and they're not going to let up. But see, the thing is, I wanted that in game 4, and I don't think I felt. I mean, it was loud and whatnot, but it didn't feel like Eastern Conference semifinals loud in game 4. I need more. I need you guys to the people there to tap in to the next level. Sixers run away with it again. Do they? So we got it here. I got DraftKings up here. DraftKings says right now we're 2.5 point dogs. Yesterday it was 1.5. Now we are at 2.5 point dogs. Money line is minus 140. It's stretched out a little bit further. Plus 120 for the Sixers. The betting lines are not saying that the Sixers are the favorite. A 2.5 point line tells me that they're thinking Boston's got a chance. Oh, this is different, and it's a closeout game versus Game 4, which was not a closeout game. I get that, and it's going to be wild. It's Thursday. Maybe some people took an extra extended weekend and take tomorrow off so that they can get down there. Anybody have an extra ticket? My DMs are open. I'm willing to go with you for free. I don't got the money for that kind of stuff. But that all being said, that crowd, Mark, it really needs to take that next level. But I need them to rattle when Jason Tatum bricks another 3-point shot, when Jaylen Brown misses 2 more free throws. That crowd needs to be on their feet for 48 straight minutes. As long as Joel Embiid is the Sixers jersey, they are the process. Sixers, he is the process. Yeah, but do you get what I'm saying? There's no rallying cry. Like every team that we've had lately has had a rallying cry. Something that's got them all going together. And the Sixers team doesn't have that. Maybe because it is. Maybe the rallying cry, it's just business. This is what we expect to do, and we need to do it. I'll take a free ticket too. So, everybody on the comments wants a free ticket. Hey, I wish, younger me, like I could, what? Let's not say I'm broke. If I have a little bit of disposable income, if I wanted to, I'm just so cheap. I don't know what tonight's tickets are going for. They'd probably say it somewhere online here really easily. ESPN.com, click on tickets. Standing room tickets in the assembly. I don't know what the assembly room is, but there are 141 tickets. Section 201, which is upper deck, center court, you're looking at $200. 101, section 101, they're going from $1,100. Let's see here. Courtside, probably a lot more than that. Tickets are not cheap for tonight's game. Now, just younger me would have spent that money in a heartbeat, but 42-year-old me, yeah, it's just not happening. And Zach, if you're in the UK, it would be quite the expensive last minute flight for sure for you to get over here. Who needs to step up outside of the Philly fans tonight? Who needs to step up the most? Their rallying cry is don't be the 4th Philly team this year to almost win a championship. Get the job done. For sure, Poppy. But they got to get to the finals. I don't think that counts if they don't at least get to the finals. If they get to the finals, they've got to win it, or that would be that would be bedlam right there if they lost. I'm noticing my hair is looking pretty bad right now. We're going to slip a Phillies hat on here. Hide that wig that I got going on up there, that fro. when you're looking at yourself in the camera, you get a little distracted sometimes. I'm always fixing my shirt. Um, who needs to step up for this Sixers team tonight? In game 5, Joel Embiid had a monster dominant game as expected, but Tyrese Maxey was that other guy that stepped up. Daniel House Jr. stepped up in his moment. Do not be surprised if Daniel House does not get 10, 15 minutes tonight. Daniel might not even see the floor tonight. That was one of those shot in the dark sparks where Doc Rivers has had done a great job of in recent memory of pulling the trigger at the right moment. Zach, bringing in the Philadelphia Stars. Is this Johnny's new account? Did you create another new account? Because he always loves to talk about the Stars on this show. The Stars did lose in the championship game too. That's a very valid point. So, but don't be surprised if Daniel House doesn't even play tonight. Daniel got that early call in game 5 because Tobias Harris got into foul trouble. And they needed somebody to step up in that moment. And he played hot. He got hot really quick, and he made some really good plays. So Doc Rivers went back to him, a few more times throughout the game, and it paid off. But if Tobias Harris doesn't get into foul trouble, we might not see that Daniel House game, which means that there's a good chance we don't see him tonight. So who's that guy? Is it Maxey? Does Maxey need a 30-burger again tonight? Does Tobias Harris need to stay out of play like he did in game 5, but be able to play more minutes because he doesn't get into foul trouble? What is the most important aspect and player tonight? James Harden, can we win tonight if James Harden has another effective, efficient 7 double-double and he's grabbing rebounds, he's distributing, he's that floor general? Is that enough, or do we need another 40-burger from James Harden? What is it tonight that matters? Marshawn saying, I need 45 to 50. I think this is what you said the other night, too, for the other game, too. And I think we got it, even though Melton, had like nothing in that game. 45 to 50 from your third, fourth, and fifth player on this team. Yeah, I mean, I would hope that Maxey comes out aggressive again tonight and you get 25 to 30 from Maxey. I would hope Tobias can stay out of foul trouble. If Tobias stays out of foul trouble, he could easily go for 20. He's actually playing very well this series. His minutes are just down because I think he's had 2 or 3 games where he's gotten into massive foul trouble. Melton's been cold for most of the series. I would like to see tonight be the game where Melton starts knocking down threes again. He has 3 or 4 threes. I might actually, I've got the DraftKings up here. Let's look. Player points. DeAnthony Melton. He's not even on the over-under on points. Oh, there he is. Over and under 7.5 points. Over 7.5 points is plus 110 on DraftKings. I'm betting that, I think, tonight. Because Melton needs to have one of those games where he knocks down 3 or 4 threes tonight, gets hot, and I think that is the guy. That's the guy that hasn't been hot in the last game or two that needs to step up tonight the most. He's played really well defensively. Tobias is due for a big game. I think Tobias has had relatively quiet but big games this season or series so far. It's just that foul trouble he keeps getting into. It's a tough matchup for him going up against Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum on the defensive end regularly because those guys just get at the rim so well and they create such contact. And obviously the refs, anytime you blow on Jason Tatum's ear, you're getting called for a foul. That's how bad it is. We need 5 guys in double figures with 1 in 30s and 1 in high 20s. Well, Joel Embiid's going to go for 30 tonight. Joel Embiid proved in game 5. He's back, baby. He's back. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, that's going to be the guy in the high third. I could see Joel Embiid dropping another 35 to 38 tonight. Brown is great and Wiggins. Dude, I don't know what you're doing with that poll, Mitch, putting that up there. It's not even close. I don't know why you put that up there. I think the question you need to do, Mitch, you should run a poll is who's better, Brown or Tatum. And I started having this conversation with some people at work yesterday. If you were building a franchise right now and you can only pick Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum to build your franchise around, who are you choosing? And to me, I'm taking Jaylen Brown over Jason Tatum to build my franchise. I'd make sure Melton sees more time for defensive purposes. Absolutely. He for a guy his size, he's only 6'2", but he's got some long arms. He's great. Mark, he's your new Matisse. He's the guy that he had a really key play in that game 5 where he got the reach around from behind, tip out of the ball. Then he ended up with the dunk on the pass there. That was a huge moment in the game. Melton's defense goes It doesn't. It does. I notice it, but I don't think it goes noticed enough amongst the casual fans and the NBA national fans. 3-point closeout has to be crisp tonight. Celtics live and die by the three. Yeah, can't give them open looks. Absolutely. The thing is, and it's going to be what you're going to, if you turn on ESPN or you turn on Fox Sports or TNT, you're going to hear everybody talk about the Celtics were in this exact same position last year, down 3-2, and they came back to win that series. So the Celtics are not scared. Now, I do feel at the end of the game, the last 5-6 minutes of the game on the other day, on what's today, Thursday, so Tuesday, you can kind of feel like the Celtics were sulking. They were hanging their head. Their shoulders were drooping down. They had lost some of that mojo of theirs. But in the locker room afterwards, if they rallied properly, it's really easy for Joe Mazzulla. Yo, guys, been here, done that. You know how that this is not over. It's a really easy rallying cry. This is not our first time being down 3-2. We got this. All we got to do is win game 6, and then we're on our home court with our home fans who booed us and walked out of the stadium. It's up to us to prove them wrong. It's that simple. It's not hard to re-energize and motivate those Celtics. So the Sixers got to be on the ball tonight. Defensively, offensively, anywhere. Joel Embiid 50 burger puts this thing away. I wonder, let's see if I could bet a 50 burger. So the highest I could bet for Joel Embiid on DraftKings is 40 or more points, and that's plus 500. So 5-1 on your money mark that Joel Embiid scores 40 or more. Maybe you could send a request to DraftKings. I want if it's 5-1 that he scores 40 or more points, it's got to be at least 8 or 9-1 that he scores 50 or more. I would take I ain't gonna lie. If I got 8 or 9-1, I would do. I might lay $5 on the 40 or more points just for that, because it wouldn't be that far out of the realm of possibilities. It really wouldn't at all. But it really goes to show we really tonight need to focus on the details. Look, Miami lost last night to the Knicks. They extended that to game 6. You know, you want to wrap this up in 6 so that you're the better rested team for the for the Eastern Conference Finals. You want to win this game. You don't want to have to play. If you lose tonight, then you got to wait till Sunday to play game 7. You don't want to do that. You want to wait till Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday, whenever the conference finals start, and give Joel another 5, 6, 7 days to continue to rehab that knee. If Joel Embiid looked like he did in game 5, and how Mark and I think he's going to look tonight in game 6, just imagine if you wrap it up tonight, how he will look in the conference finals in a week, giving him that extra time to rest. Just imagine that. There's 14 people watching. I got 8 likes over here on my screen. Make sure you smash that like button. This is trending in the AM. Look, I don't think that it's going to be an easy cakewalk. But I do feel, like we said yesterday, like we said Tuesday, this team is different. Their legacies are on the line. They just need to do what we got to beat them like they owe us money. Like, what was that scene from the Bronx Tale where the guy's chasing him down because that guy owes me $5 or $10, whatever it is. You know, we gotta take advantage of this opportunity that's here. We cannot have a letdown. We cannot have a letdown tonight. We do not need this going 7 games. We need Joel Embiid fully invested in this game. We need James Harden playing like game 5. Or game 1 and 4 would be great too. But I'll take game 5. We need Maxey confident in knocking down those shots. I think game 5 goes a long way in Tyrese Maxey's development, proving to himself that he can handle the Boston Celtics, who he's struggled greatly with over his career. But we need somebody else, whether it's Tobias Harris staying out of foul trouble. I'm still going to rest my laurels on it's going to be the DeAnthony Melton show tonight. DeAnthony Melton's going to have a huge impact defensively. He is going to knock down. Let's be honest, he is not shy about shooting the 3. He's a really good, he's a little streakier lately, but when he gets going, he can easily drop 3-4 threes in a moment's notice. So that is the guy I want. Letdown is not an option. Just win. I mean, can we just cut that comment out? and plastered on the board in the Wells Fargo home locker room. Letdown is not an option. Just win tonight. Because that's basically what it is. We just need to win tonight. I want to come on here tomorrow. We're going to do an extended show tomorrow because we'll be recapping tonight's game. But also the full Eagles schedule will be out, so we'll be diving into the full Eagles schedule tomorrow as well. I just want to come on here tomorrow and be able to say, yo, they took care of business. Bring on, let's enjoy whatever happens in the Heat-Knicks series. Watch that for research purposes. Business is done. I don't want to have to worry about my Mother's Day on Sunday, having to watch a Sixers game. I want it to be over with. But you got to take care of business tonight. And you take care of business by continuing to get in Jason Tatum's face. Look, I know Jason Tatum's an MVP candidate every year. He averaged 30 points a game. But to me, he's missing something. I don't think he's as good as his numbers say that he is. Like, he's a really great player, but he's never going to be on the Joel Embiid level. He's never going to be on the James Harden level. He is never going to be. He'll never win an MVP, in my opinion. He's just below that. Yeah, there's just something about him that I just strongly dislike. But it's about his game as well. It's not just the personality I dislike, it's the game. I want to see cerebral Embiid that doesn't listen to Doc and gets the team involved. That's when we play our best, and that's when when people don't listen to Doc. I love that comment right there. He's got a lot of empty baskets last 2 games. Yeah, some of it's defense, some of it's just playing bad, some of it's coming up small in a big moment. I don't know. There's just something about Jason Tatum that I just don't buy his game. I don't know. That I think he's more of a, he's a great player, but he can't lead a team by himself. You take Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown away, I don't think he can lead the team. There's just, I don't know how to describe my feelings on Jason Tatum. And it's not just because he's a Celtic. It's just the arrogance he plays with and stuff like that. Something about him I don't like. I'm confident they take care of business tonight. Not going to be easy. For the first time in Joel's career, his team is playing with a lot of cohesion and attitude. The attitude's great right now. And whatever clicked between P.J. Tucker and Joel Embiid in that argument, whatever happened with P.J. Tucker after he got benched, man, they are all clicking on the same cylinder. They are one cohesive unit. They realize that it's right there. The moment is in front of them. They're not going to have a better opportunity than right now, not just to get to the conference finals, but to get to the NBA finals. This is it. What do I always talk about on this show? For a year plus now, I've talked about timing in sports. The timing is there right now for the Sixers team. The Bucks are gone. They got upset. The Celtics are on the ropes. You get to pick up the pieces, and this is not a knock on the Knicks or the Miami Heat, but you get to pick up the pieces of that Knicks Heat series in the conference finals, and then you get Jokic, LeBron, or maybe the Suns in the finals. This is their moment. And they're all right there. Doc Rivers is putting on look, Mark, you know of all people what I think of Doc Rivers. But even I know it's a tip of the cap to Doc Rivers. If you would have asked me who had the coach's advantage entering this series, it was the Celtics. Even though Joe Mazzulla was a rookie coach, I would have always put the other coach in the playoff series ahead of Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers is out coaching. Doc Rivers is showing that Joe Mazzulla is a rookie coach. Plain and simple. Devour the details tonight. I love this comment. This should be you could use this comment, Marshawn, like every single day on this show, no matter what sport we're talking about. Because the details in sports, in all sports, the Eagles, Jalen Hurts is all about the details. The Phillies need to focus on some details more consistently. We'll get into the Phillies here in a second. We'll wrap up the Sixers talk in a minute or two. We'll transition to Phillies. We'll get into this Eagles schedule at the end of the show. P.J. Tucker is going to refuse to allow anyone to slack. Dude, would it surprise anybody if somebody has a mental lapse, a brain fart, that P.J. Tucker actually not only just gets in their face, like not physically assault him, but like literally grab a hold of a teammate and just shove him? Like, I could see P.J. Tucker starting a fight on a bench. Like, I really could. And you don't want that, and I get it. I'm exaggerating a little bit. But P.J. Tucker, and look, I question it. But where I question Doc and I questioned other people all year long. PJ Tucker, I did say all year, I would wait to judge PJ till I got to see playoff PJ. And playoff PJ is paying dividends now. But also, I mean, just think about it. PJ actually had some really bad games, and he was becoming unplayable. Well, somebody got in his ear, too. That benching of him, his minutes being cut, whether it was game 3 or whatever, 2 or 3, something got to him. You're unplayable right now. You got to do something else. And he has stepped up his game and his leadership and his effect on the court. There is nobody I'd rather have on my team right now in that role than PJ Tucker. We've missed that. I just wish PJ Tucker could play that role all year long, but I guess he's got to save it for the playoffs. Tucker and Harden were the mentorship the Sixers have needed. We've seen him grow as a player. It's interesting. I think that's a very good point. I do. I'm trying to actually finish a cup of coffee during the show today. We'll see if we get it done this time. I think that's a very fair point. We don't have to worry about PJ Tucker's legacy because he's won titles. He's been around the league, and he's not a star player. But Harden's legacy is on the line. I talk about it. It's been one of my narratives all year. Legacy's on the line this year. I'm not saying Doc doesn't know what he's talking about, but he tends to encourage Embiid to focus mostly on score, and the team ends up watching. There is way too much watching. There is too much standing around. But at this point, with Game 6 of the Eastern Conference semifinals, you can't change much now. Now, next year, maybe we could try to change the style of the offense, the flow of the offense. How this season ends determines what next season's team's going to look like. We'll get into all that in the offseason. But, I mean, how many times, Eric, did you watch Game 5 that they don't get the ball past the Celtics logo until 8 seconds left in the shot clock? Or James Harden just stands there and dribble pitter-patter, until there's 5 seconds left, then gives Joel the ball with 3 seconds left, and Joel's got to make – that stuff's got to stop. But it is what it is, and there's not much changing it at this point. It's just hope that it doesn't backfire. PJ is a social worker on this team. Pretty much. Yeah, this season opener, we're going to get into this in a few minutes. Man, the NFL picked one hell of a barn burner of a game to kick the season off, Lions at Chiefs. We'll get into that. That's one of the things I wrote down on my scheduling list here for sure. When everyone is touching the ball and playing freely, we can beat anybody. You saw that when Harden and Maxey went down early. Yeah, I mean, I think this is a very underrated narrative of the season. Like, we are here. We are one game away from the Eastern Conference Finals. We've got the finals literally right there. I could see them. I could taste them. And again, I was the guy that called this team out and said the season was over. And it's right there. But people don't remember, we've gone through some tough times this year. Harden missed time. Maxey missed, 6 weeks? Doc Rivers regulated Maxey to the bench for 6 games. There have been injuries on this team. There have been issues with this team. And the fact that we've overcome them to get to this point, it's telling how deep. So I criticize Daryl Morey just as much as Doc Rivers, but he's built a deep team. He's done a good job building this roster so that when guys in the regular season go down, there's people to step up. And your core top 6 or 7 is so strong that in the playoffs, you can run an 8-man lineup, 7-man rotation if you want to. I would rather see Daniel House tonight. I know I said earlier that he won't play probably, or he possibly could not play much tonight. But I'd rather Daniel House playing in this game, in this matchup, in this series than George Niang. George Niang, to me, has become unplayable right now. Now, I could be wrong, and George Niang can come out tonight, knock down his first 3 threes, and we'll go right back to bang, bang, George Niang. It could work out that way, but I think Daniel House's athleticism, his reach, his defensive prowess, much more important. He also drives the basket a little bit better. If you do have him out there and he drives the basket, he can create more foul trouble for the opponents and stuff like that. I would go out there and just tell Daniel House, you're getting 10 minutes tonight. Use your 6 fouls. Play hard. Do what you do. And that's it. I would be playing it. Did anybody watch last night's Knicks Heat game? I mean, you had Jalen Brunson and one other player, I forget which other player on the Knicks, played the full 48 minutes of the game. That's consolidating your rotation right there in the playoffs. Jalen Brunson, literally played the entire 48 minutes of basketball last night. You never see that. Now, you can never let Joel Embiid play 48 minutes. He'd be so gassed. That would be insane. But would it be crazy for Maxey to be on the court for all 48 minutes? He could do it. Tobias Harris could. James Harden might even be able to play a full 48 minutes. I mean, I think that would push it. Maybe in the NBA Finals, if we got to that point, maybe he could push it like that. But, you know, I have no problem when it's playoff time. Your guy's just playing 43, 45 minutes. Outside of Joel Embiid, I still think you could push Joel to 40 minutes, 41 minutes. That's a shame for Paul Reed. Hell, I would honestly play Paul Reed over George Niang in the right combo of a lineup. Because at least Paul Reed brings a little bit more defense. He brings a little bit more athleticism, that heart and hustle. You know, George Niang basically is just a spot-up shooter. He does the other things. He just doesn't do them well. I would love a Harden, Maxey, Harris, and Reed lineup where Reed's filling in for Tucker for 3 or 4 minutes. I would love to see it. And I hope we bring him back next year. And I hope we get to see that maybe on the floor, both Reed and Embiid together. I think that would be obviously an awesome thing. But anyway, let's wrap up this Sixers portion of the show here. Let's be honest. We are dogs tonight, but this is a closeout game. And it's kind of insane because if you would have asked me 4 days ago, 5 days ago, would I pick the Sixers to win this game? I don't think so. I truly believe Niang will have a solid game tonight. 3 made threes, field goals is not a reach for him. Well, I hope I'm wrong again. I mean, I would love to see it. I'm going to put the 3 threes on D'Anthony Melton, not Niang tonight, but he could definitely be that guy. I said somebody else has to step up tonight. Maybe it is the minivan. Maybe it is. All right, we'll get into the football schedule next. We'll put baseball off to the end of the show. We'll start talking schedule leaks and things about this Eagles schedule in a minute. So my final predictions for the Sixers game tonight. If you would have asked me a couple of weeks ago, would the Sixers even make it to Game 6? Funeral game tonight. Take them to the shed. Love it. I love that you even put it all in caps locks. That makes it even more. Funeral game tonight. I think the crowd's going to be. Have they announced who's ringing the bell tonight? Because I don't think they have. I still would love Jalen Hurts to be the one. I still want Jalen Hurts in the locker room sometime today, pumping this team up. Look, this game means a lot to the Sixers. Legacy's on the line. Everything. It means so much to the Philly fans and the people that have supported this process and this team for so long. That I don't think there's a way that this Sixers team has a letdown tonight. I think that the Celtics, they hung their heads a little bit in Game 5. I think if you can come out tonight and build a 5, 10-point lead early in this game, you can put the dagger in the Celtics by halftime. I really, truly think you can. I mean, you won't see the benches get emptied in the third, fourth quarter, but you know what I mean. I think the Sixers win tonight. I'm predicting a 120 to 110 Sixers victory tonight. Joel Embiid, maybe not 50 points like Mark said, but I see the 40 burger from Joel Embiid. I'm going to bet that plus 500 on DraftKings. It's going to be one of my bets today. D'Anthony Melton over 7.5 points because he's going to be the one to knock down 3 threes tonight. We get this win and we get to rest till I think the earliest the finals, the conference finals starts is Tuesday, maybe. But maybe it gets pushed off. I would like it to be pushed off a little longer than that. We'll see how that plays out. But, you know, we gotta get this W tonight. I don't want to go back to Boston. I don't want to have to come on here tomorrow and talk negative. I want to talk positive tomorrow. I want to talk about the Eastern Conference Finals for them. That's what I want. Not the same Celtics team that came back from 3-2. Absolutely. 108-101. I like the score. I think I might have went a little high on the 120-110. I got to stick to it because I said it. And what you say on the air, you can't change it. What's the over-under on the game tonight? Here, let me pull up that part of the lines here. Popular 212. So that would mean the over would hit for sure. 209. You'd be betting the under. I'd be betting the over on that one, on those prediction, Marshawn. It looks like we want to talk Eagles here a little bit. So we've already got, this is a potential. No one on the Eagles has confirmed this. The Vikings top Twitter accounts are talking Vikings week 2 again. Didn't we play the Vikings week 2 last year? Sunday or Monday Night Football. I know I was in Mexico for my anniversary. I was watching on the big screen. So it was a nationally televised game at night. Week 2, Eagles Vikings last year. And it looks like we might be playing the Vikings again week 2 For some reason, week 1 Eagles has not been leaked. The only 110% confirmed thing that we know so far is the Eagles are playing the Giants at home on Christmas Day at 4:30. Christmas is on a Monday this year, I believe. I don't know about you guys, but I personally love Eagles on Christmas Day. I love it. And the 4:30 time is fantastic. I don't have kids. I go see my nieces and nephews for breakfast, watch them open up some toys, whatever. And I sit on my couch and watch basketball all day. On a side note, the NBA is pissed that the Eagles are playing on Christmas, and the NBA is pissed that the NFL is playing on Christmas. So they're going to start building their Christmas Day games to combat the NFL schedule to kind of steal some viewership. The Eagles play at 4:30. Would it be out of the realm of possibility that the NBA is going to put the Sixers on at 3 or 4 o'clock on Christmas? I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility. I think the NBA is going to give I'll do it off the screen, the big bird, to the NFL and be like, yo, we're scheduling all the people you have playing on Christmas. We're scheduling them on Christmas as well at the same time. The Eagles got to be wearing Kelly. All right, Mark. Is Mark still here? Poppy, you're saying Kelly Green. Let me trigger Mark in the comment section. Kelly Green is overrated. I'm a Midnight Green fan. Don't give me the Kelly Green. The Kelly Green is the most overrated throwbacks in Philadelphia sports right now. The lack of respect the NFL has for these holidays and short weeks is a disgrace. I don't like the short weeks. I hate Thursday night football games. Mark, I said it before. I want Friday night football. And I believe they're doing a Black Friday game, and there's rumors that the Eagles might be the Black Friday game. I would push Thursday night football off to Friday. You phrase it and you coin it. Friday night lights, just like it's been there. That I think it's so marketable. Friday night lights and Friday night football. I think it's a perfect way to do it. And that Thursday, it's just so hard to get your body restructured, reset. You really got to do something about those 30. I think it's something that the NFL should do and work on over the next year or two, eliminating Thursday night football. Nobody, the ratings for Thursday night football suck anyway. Why won't Golden State go away? Yeah, Golden State beat the Lakers. Hey, they're a legendary team. You got legendary players on that team. Kelly Green and then the Giants wear their reds. You can go with any of the old throwback Giants. I get the nostalgic, moment and part of that. But, man, I just hate the Kelly Green, man. Not Eagles, but Lions opening. Dude, Kyle said it before, too. Man, the NFL decided Thursday night, kickoff game, we're going to put our defending Super Bowl champion, Kansas City Chiefs, in it. And we're going to have them face the juggernaut. Detroit Lions? Jared Goff? Really? Is that a game that's going to get casual fans watching? I mean, it's the first game. A lot of fans will tune in, but they'll tune out pretty quickly when Patrick Mahomes drops a 50 burger on the Lions. It's pathetic. Opening Monday Night Football game, Bills at Jets. Of course, Aaron Rodgers is going to get a prime. What is it? 6 or 7 is the max you're allowed to be on prime time for an NFL team. Well, you better believe the Jets are going to be on prime time 6 times. And let me tell you something. The Bills are going to smoke the Jets on Monday Night Football. It's going to happen. The Jets are not making the playoffs with Aaron Rodgers this year. Mark it down right there, right now. Bold statement number 1, Jets do not make the playoffs with Aaron Rodgers. It just doesn't happen. I don't want Sunday at 1. I'm not a fan of I think the whole entire NFL landscape should get changed on games. Hate Thursday Night Football. 1 o'clock's an awkward time. Look, I would have, as a pizza shop owner, again, Fox's Pizza, make sure you come stop out and say hi to me in Kennett Square. 4 o'clock games equal big business for me. Not the nighttime games, not the 1 o'clock games. I do good business at 1 o'clock. But 8:30 games, 8:15 games, they're just too late. People don't throw big parties. I want 4 o'clock games, 5 o'clock games all the time. I think Friday night lights would be fantastic for business. Saturday night football games more frequently, fantastic for business. 4 o'clock Saturday games, fantastic for business. I hate the night games. I hate 1 o'clock games. I would rather a Friday night or Saturday night. Absolutely. They do at the end of the season, the Saturday nights. They don't mind competing with the NBA on Christmas. Why not compete with college football? I mean, let's do battle. NCAA versus the NFL. NFL would blow college football out of the waters in the rating battle. Guarantee it. I love Friday night and Saturday night football games. I like Tuesday. I don't like night games at all. Now, Saturday nights, at least I'm off on Sundays most of the time. So that would be that. There was once an understanding that the New Year's belonged to college football, Christmas and NBA. Yeah, so much for that. Look, the unwritten rules of sports, the wink wink understandings. I get it, but honestly, I don't watch college football anymore, so I could care less. And I love, there's nothing better than me on a Christmas day sitting on my couch and just watching basketball for 8-9 hours straight. But if you're going to give me the option to watch the Eagles play the Giants on Christmas at 4 o'clock, feed me that all day long. I mean, I love it. What wrong with Thursday? Thursday, it's just too short of a turnaround. You play on Sunday, then you got to play on Thursday. The NFL body needs time to recover. Plus, they don't do a good job picking the matchups for Thursday. There's a lot of shitty games that happen on Thursday nights on a regular basis, and I think that's the problem. Yo, come on, don't forget. Make sure you smash that like button. Anybody tune in? We got 13 likes on this video. We got to 21 yesterday. I'd really like to beat that. Goff is great. Jared Goff is an underappreciated quarterback. He'll never make my top 10 or 12 quarterback list, but he did a damn good job with that Lions team last year. And Dan Campbell did as well. But they don't stand a chance against Kansas City opening night. It's just not going to happen. I bet you that Chiefs line is 7.5 points by now already. I called Lions will be great, Phil. I thought the Lions were going to win 9 games last year. I might predict 10 games this year. I like the Lions. And timing is everything in sports. And the Lions in their division, the timing is there. There is a chance that the Lions can compete for that division. The Packers are going to be semi-rebuilding with what's his name, Jordan Love. The Vikings, it's still Kirk Cousins, whatever. The Bears, Justin Fields, do you buy Justin Fields? The Lions have an opportunity to compete for that division. Josh Allen does equal ratings. People love Josh Allen across the NFL. I love Josh Allen. I watch Buffalo. Johnny, I'm not an anti-Buffalo Bills person. Growing up an Eagles fan in the 80s and 90s, I mean, Buffalo went to the Super Bowl 4 straight years, played the Eagles division rivals in all 4 of those Super Bowls. So I became a Buffalo fan during that Jim Kelly era because I was always rooting against the Cowboys, the Redskins at the time, the Giants, that is what it is. The same Lions who half their coaching staff and several of their players were suspended for gambling. I mean, at least it gives a narrative and a story for that. You'll talk about Patrick Mahomes, and then the second segment of the intro, you'll talk about all the gambling stuff. I mean, look, I know, Mark, I know your opinions on this whole gambling stuff, but, the NFL is not going to miss out on that money with the NFL. Jets don't win 5. Man, that's really bold. I was going to say 6 or 7 wins, but 4 or 5 games. Dude. I'm so over Aaron Rodgers. I want Aaron Rodgers to crash and burn so bad. And I was never a Zach Wilson fan, but I want Zach Wilson to get traded and go somewhere and become an all-pro quarterback somewhere. I want it so bad. I loved Robert Saleh. He was my first choice to be the Eagles coach when he was available. I want Robert Saleh to burn. Who's their GM? Isn't Joe Douglas their GM? I want that whole organization to fry for what they're doing with and Aaron Rodgers because I just don't like them. Bills, Dolphins, Patriots, Jets. Spoiler. Yeah, I agree with that. Maybe the Patriots, Jets. I don't buy the Patriots either. But there's only one team in that division making the playoffs, and that's the Bills. I'm not a Tua fan. I don't think they're as good as people think. The Dolphins. We love Fox, but we love Thursday. I see you, business concerns. It's business concerns, but it's also just the health of the bodies of these football players. Official Flyers have named Keith Jones. Yeah, I mean, if I would have known this, I saw this happen late last night, Kyle. I don't do a lot of Flyers talk on this show, but I'm going to try to find somebody from the Philadelphia Sports Network team. There's a couple of people that write and cover the Flyers and are credentialed. We're going to try to get one of the Flyers writers and media members to come on this show next week to talk about this. Keith Jones and Danny Briere, the future of the Flyers organization. And they got screwed. What, they get the 7th pick in the lottery? And the Blackhawks got the number 1 pick in the lottery? Oh, man. We can have a half of a show next week on the Flyers, for sure, because we got to talk about this. Keith Jones, a guy that talks fart jokes on WIP, is now the president of your Flyers. He's a smart guy. He knows hockey really well. He really does. I just don't know if I buy Keith Jones as the president of hockey operations. I just don't know. Yankee folks don't do college football. I'm not a college football fan. more weeks, 18 more bye weeks, more rosters. Yeah, I mean, I think there's a time when you get to, because I think there'll be 18 games someday. You might have 2 bye weeks. You might have, you know, to talk Sixers, you might have scheduled rest days for players throughout the year. You might do that. That might be something that happens. Sorry, that is not going to be touched at all, Phil. Yeah, you're right, Mark. The gambling thing might not be talked about one bit. They might mention certain players that are out and suspended, but they won't talk about it in detail. Maybe the pregame shows will, but not on the air during the games. Jets will be terrible. You love Randall Cunningham. What do we got here? Keith Jones made fart. You see, you're saying it too. Keith Jones made fart jokes. This is the Keith Jones thing is either going to be the greatest decision in Flyers hockey and in AHL history, or it is going to be the worst. And the dumpster fire of the Flyers organization is literally, you might see they're going to sell the Flyers and move them somewhere else. I don't know what's going on. I mean, when I hear Keith Jones, when I saw that rumor pop up yesterday on Twitter, I'm like, what? Really? And people don't realize this. So the hardcores that know me know this, but I love hockey. I don't talk hockey a lot on this show, but man, I love hockey. I've been to more Flyers games and Phillies games in my life. I love it. And I want something positive for this Flyers team so that I could talk Flyers on this show. And so I could be excited about the team anymore, but I just can't. Not his bratty nosed kid. His kid really screwed up a little bit. The USFL ratings highest ever. Someone was commenting on the Stars earlier, Johnny, in the comments section. You missed, unless that was your other account. Unless you got multiple accounts that you pop in here with. And so people wanted more football. So I don't know. So far, we got maybe week 2, Thursday night football, Eagles, Vikings. Not a fan of that. We got Christmas Day, Eagles. We might have a week 7 matchup against the 49ers. That hasn't been confirmed yet. I'm surprised the Eagles and 49ers isn't happening week 1 or week 2. I really thought the NFL would capitalize on that budding rivalry there and put that matchup right away on the schedule because, I mean, I've had it on my notes for like 3 days now, and I keep not having time to talk about it. Debo Samuel still out there complaining. You know what I mean? Like, they haven't, the 49ers haven't gotten over it. The Eagles seem to not care. Listen, Keith Jones knows hockey. Exactly. And that's the thing. He does. But he also made fart jokes. So it's like, is he going to make fart jokes? Or is he, it's so crazy. Billions in profits for the XFL. I think their championship game is this weekend, the XFL. I'm really surprised the Eagles 49ers game is not being featured early in the season. Based off of the rivalry, based off of the championship game, based off all the smack talking that one of the Eagles signed as one of the big Eagles, Javon Hargrave, signed as a free agent with the 49ers. There's so many storylines there. I would have thought that would have been a perfect Sunday night football week 1 game, Eagles 49ers. But all the rumors are it's like week 7 or week 8 or something like that. It's surprising. And you got all these leaks happening. I'm going to pull up Twitter on my back screen, see if anything else pops up here for me. But it doesn't look like anything else. And shout out, I don't know if you guys are WIP guys or Fanatic guys. He annoyed me as all hell, but he's a legend calling character. Bernie from Broomall passed away. I guess yesterday. He got a little old and tired over the years from me. But man, that man was calling into radio stations, for ages. The Mike Missinelli show and stuff like that, ages. He passed away. So, diehard Philly sports fan, man. Lived and breathes Philly sports and Phillies talk. So it's sad to see that right there. Late in season in hope San Francisco quarterbacks. they want Brock Purdy back for that meeting. I still think it would have been a perfect Sunday night football game. I really do for week 1. And if I'll probably want to see if San Francisco get there. Yeah, so everybody's saying it's the quarterback reasons. Cowboys Giants week 1. Of course. I mean, that's fine. It's a great rivalry game. 2 playoff teams, 2 wildcard teams from last year. Yeah. Debo is still concussed from Blankenship's tackle. Then he asked to be traded. I think he did ask to be traded before last season. Now he's wearing the badge of honor for the 49ers. I don't know. I want so this is I wanted to talk Phillies. We might not get in the Phillies, or maybe we'll go 5 minutes of overtime. I really, obviously the Eagles are going to be prime time. They've got the hardest schedule in the league. I think the topic, and we'll get into this tomorrow as we see the whole schedule and how it's laid out. The Eagles are going to have a tough road about it. How will this team respond? Tough schedule. Jalen Hurts coming off the high of highs last year. Will there be regression? How will Nick Sirianni handle a tough game every single week? You're not going to go 14-3, 15-2, anything like that next year. It's just going to be almost impossible to duplicate those wins, but also with this schedule. The fact that there might be more Thursday, now they're saying that you can play twice on Thursday Night Football. Looks like the Eagles got a Thursday night, a Friday night. We talked about it last year all season long when I was on the other network about how the schedule was funky for the Eagles. Lots of long stretches and lots of short stretches. And it looks like it's going to be even different this year and more, exaggerate this year. Do you think that affects this Eagles? Or is this just proof? Is this year going to be proof of the pudding that what Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni bring to the table in leadership, mentorship, the intangibles that I talk about all the time, will they be able to overcome all of this to repeat as division champions, to repeat as getting to the Super Bowl? Someone close a series. Shoot, I don't know what that is. Spoiler: Panthers, Saints, Falcons, Buccaneers. Panthers, Saints, Falcons, Buccaneers. They might all only have 6 wins, but yeah, it's probably the worst football division right now this year. The Eagles are a loaded roster, and that's the thing. The Eagles are in win now mode. The Eagles have a great leader at the top, a young quarterback. Their window is now, but their window is the future as well. It's going to be really interesting. I am so interested to see how this season plays out, not just as a fan, but as someone that talks this, because the cards are stacked against the Eagles this year. They're big target on their back. Jalen Hurts, big target on his back. You got the hardest schedule in football. How did the Chiefs not get the hardest schedule in football? They won the Super Bowl. How did they not get the hardest football schedule this year? The Giants and Cowboys, actually, I think they're 3rd and 4th or tied for 4th or something like that. So the Giants and Cowboys have pretty difficult schedules as well. Too many. Dude, I can't wait till the football season starts. I know we got Phillies still playing and the Sixers, and it all revolves around football. I mean, let's be honest. This show, Johnny, is so much more entertaining during football season when we're talking football, recapping games on Monday, previewing games on Friday, all the crap in between on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. By football season, I hope to have, we only got 14 likes on this video. I wanted 21 today, at least. I want to be able to get this show to the point that by September, that this show is a guaranteed 90 minutes every day. Hell, if I can find some sponsors for this show, 2 hours every single morning, I would do it. Because football season in this show is what it's made for, my man. That is for sure. Panthers will be great. No, not great. They'll be good. They'll be better. They might win that division. But great, hard pass on that word, great. Hardest schedule, but stacked roster. Go Birds. Absolutely. Eagles, Giants, Cowboys, contenders. Eagles are winning the division again. I don't doubt that. Schedules are predetermined on a rotation. I get that. I get that. And the Eagles are stuck with the tougher divisions than the Chiefs this year. And that's why the Giants and the Giants and the Cowboys are up there in the top 3, 4 toughest schedules as well. I get that, Mark. I do. But I think that maybe that should change. The Chiefs should have the hardest schedule. Chiefs had some losses this year. We'll see. Chiefs still got Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, 2 of the best at what they do. Real quick, give me 5 minutes here, 10 minutes, guys. Phillies. I got to talk Phillies for a few minutes, guys. And the Phillies yesterday completed got to 3 games. They completed the 2-game sweep of the Blue Jays. They got a 3-game winning streak. Okay, after their 6-game losing streak, they've come back and won 3 more in a row. And what's interesting to me, I said about 2.5 weeks ago, there was a 14-game stretch upcoming for our fighting Phillies. Okay, and it started with that Mariners series. And went Mariners, Astros, Dodgers, Red Sox, Blue Jays. 14 games. 14 games against really good opponents. Streaky is an understatement. Let's just see how this series. You literally went lost 4-game winning streak, 6-game losing streak, 3-game winning streak. And this is why, Mark, that I'm so down and hard to get behind this Phillies team, because this team has changed. You got Trey Turner now. You got Marsh and Bone playing every day. Stott, back in your leadoff spot. This is the exact same thing that we saw last year. Kyle Schwarber struggling. He'll get hot in June. That's the problem. This is the exact same Phillies team that we saw last year. Inconsistent, that got in with 2 days left in the baseball season. Aaron Nola did have a very encouraging outing. Zach Wheeler had a great outing. I was sitting there and I was watching the game, also listening to it. I was delivering pizzas yesterday, and I'm just sitting there and I'm listening to the 6th, 7th inning in the car while I'm doing deliveries. And I'm like, man, if they can't score, and if they can't, if Zach Wheeler loses this game 1-0, I'd be pissed off if I was Zach Wheeler. They just couldn't come up with it. And if you didn't hear it, go back and find it. Scott Fransky's call of the winning play in extra innings, and the Phillies win on a wild throw. Just he was so excited about an error on an error. You know, the way he did it was so exciting. It was so fun. Yeah, the Phillies won on a little league play. But you know what? 3 months from now, Mark, no one's going to say, well, you got in by 1 game, but one of those games was won on a little league play. Wins are wins. Losses are losses. I get all that. But we're still talking Panthers. I'm not talking the Panthers. Forget the Panthers. Don't shake your head. The Phillies, the Phillies mean a lot. I got the Phillies tattoo to prove how much they mean to me. I'm wearing my favorite Phillies Clearwater spring training hat from a few years ago. Look, this team is like I said when I said this 14-game stretch was going to be important for the Phillies. I said a couple things. I said if they went 6-8, 7-7, that would be good. If they'd probably go 5-9. If they went 8-6 or 9-5, that would be great. That I would learn something about this team over a 14-game stretch against good teams, against good baseball teams. Well, I learned something about this Phillies team, and they went 7-7. And if you would have asked me before this 14-game stretch, would you be happy with 7-7? I would have said sure. I would have been very happy with 7-7. But how those 7-7 came about with a 6-game winning streak mixed in the middle just shows me I know exactly what this team is. An average team that is going to get hot and then not. And then hot and then not. Look, and I think it's going, I said it was a big loss yesterday. Some people are like, oh, it's no big deal. Jose Alvarado going on the injured list with elbow inflammation is not a good sign. He was your best reliever on this team last year in the playoffs. And again, we got 18 people watching. I got 14 likes. Make sure you smash that like button on YouTube and subscribe and turn the notifications on and tell a friend. Trending in the AM. Yo, Alvarado, if he misses significant time, I know we have a deeper bullpen. Craig Kimbrell, the last 2 outings, fire. Hitting 90-90. He looks like Atlanta Kimbrell again for 2 outings. Gregory Soto, since his opening day bombing, has looked good. Sir Anthony looked a little bit more aggressive and better yesterday, but he's still a problem. But the Alvarado injury is massive. Massive loss to this bullpen. It seems to be the thing. Look, I joked about it last year, and I'm going to joke about it again this year because Bellatti's been injured already. Ranger Suarez, well, he got hurt before the season. But it seems like that Phillies bullpen is cursed. And if I was a reliever, I wouldn't want to come to Philly because you just know you're getting hurt. I mean, there's something growing in those vines out there, out in the outfield by the bullpen. I don't know what it is, but Philly bullpen pitchers are cursed. Like I said the other day, Ranger Suarez looks like he'll be back soon. So that helps. And having Matt Strahm go back to the bullpen, helps alleviate that loss of Alvarado. But look, Bengals, Ravens, Steelers, Browns. No, I don't buy the Ravens. That's a tough division to call. Bengals are the class of that division. Browns, yeah, I don't buy the Browns, and I root against them because it's Deshaun Watson. But Ravens, Steelers, you can flip flop them either way. I don't know. I don't know how to make there. We have a Steelers reporter on here fairly regularly. Neil Coulong. I'll get his thoughts on that Johnny later on down the line. But Phillies, I just don't know what to expect. They have today off. They're in Colorado this weekend. I just don't think that I'm far off on saying that this team is just not a great team. They get hot at the right moment last year, and they're meh. And I think we're just going to be doing this all year. We're going to win 3, lose 4, win 5, lose 6. We're going to constantly have this struggle all year. And hopefully there is a stretch. Last year we had one stretch where we went like 15-1 or 16-1 when Rob Thompson first took over. And that gave us that little boost to get us far enough ahead of 500 where the rest of the year we played 500 ball and we just squeaked into the playoffs. We're not gonna have the Rob Thompson hiring with the Joe Girardi firing to get us over the hump this year. I thought the Bryce Harper return would be that jolt that gets you that long winning streak. It's not. Bryce Harper looks fantastic out there. Let's not beat around the bush. He is a cyborg. He is one of the greatest players in baseball, and I'm sure ESPN is just kicking themselves in the butt. Whoever wrote that thing, putting him like the 58th best player in baseball. Ridiculous. Nick Castellanos almost had another home run yesterday. I jumped up out of my seat when he hit that ball. I was in the 8th or 9th inning. I thought that was a home run. Get bigger than start early and go insert more for Philly morning drive. Dude, background noise. I'm more than background noise, damn it. I'm insulted by that comment. I'm more than it. This is the best morning show in Philadelphia. This is the best morning show there is out there. This is the only show where your comments matter, actually. Everyone else brushes off comments. Not me. I base my show about what you guys want to say. Everybody else is. I'm not cool enough to use the word mid. I just can't. I'm surprised how much you talk so much sports. Even I do Tuesday night golf. Well, it's moving to Monday night next week for the PGA Championship. But I talk golf too. Tom Kim, he's winning the Byron Nelson. That's who my bet was. I didn't think for a second, who do I got winning the Byron Nelson this week? But anyway, I think we'll wrap up today. We'll wrap up Training the AM right there today. Everybody, make sure you like, you subscribe. Look, we got 14 likes. I bet you 50, 60 people watch this on YouTube, and there's only 14 likes on it. Come on, we got to like that. You got to share, tell a friend, tell everybody. But this is the best morning show in the Philadelphia area, the best show where your thoughts matter. We'll be back tomorrow. Special start time, 8 a.m. We'll recap tonight's Sixers game. We'll go more in detail on this Eagles schedule and thoughts. Won't give you final record prediction, but I'll give you my thoughts on it and any other key matchups, Thanksgiving games, etc. Across the NFL schedule. So we'll have an extended 90-minute edition tomorrow. So make sure you set those alarms 30 minutes earlier. You want me to go later? Dude, I'll do 8 to 10. I got to find some sponsors. Got to find a way to make some money to cover me if I'm going to do 2 hours. Yeah, let's go Sixers, man. Let's end the show right there with ring that frickin' bell, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow, 8 a.m. Hopefully talking our Eastern Conference final appearing Philadelphia 76ers, guys. For Philadelphia Sports Network, I am Phil Stiefel. We'll see you tomorrow.